Hello guys, and welcome to my guide on how to acquire your ancient weapon. In this video, we'll take a look at every material that you need for the process, and the most effective ways to acquire each of the materials step by step. So let's try to keep this as short and straightforward as possible. As you can see, the retribution is the end product, while the ancient bow is what you get when you first start the quest. Now, when you first acquire the retribution bow, the end product, it only comes as legendary, so it will be up to you to get it to Mythic 5. Now, even though I'm gonna show you how to get the bow, all the ancient weapons for every class are pretty much the same. They all have the same stats and they all require the same things to acquire. Now, to start off the quest, you're gonna need an antique chest and an antique key. You get both of these by doing timed dungeons, and it can be either from simply touching the chest at the very end of the dungeon, or actually opening the chest that you get from the dungeon. Once you open the antique chest, you'll get an A grade weapon depending on your class, together with the quest that you'll have to complete in order to unlock the blacksmith. We're not going to show you how to do the quest because I'm assuming that everybody has done it by now, and if you haven't, it's not very difficult to do anyway. The first material you'll need is the Rogue's Codebook. You can get this from other people on the market, by buying it from a smuggler, or by simply killing monsters around the world or doing dungeons. In reality, you only have two options. You either spend seeds and buy it from other people because they're much cheaper than the smuggler, or you just pick it up from doing your everyday stuff anyway. Now, after you finish the quest, and have acquired access to the blacksmith, you'll get a new quest which you can access at any time in your quest log to see where you get everything from. So the first items for your first upgrade are 5 gloomy abyssal shards. Chances are you already have tons of these because they drop from any 5-player dungeon. You can also buy them from other players. Next up is 1 shard of great power. You get these by killing field bosses. Any field boss can drop these, but if you don't have one already, my suggestion is to simply farm easy bosses like Bashal or Harpy Queen. Ideally, you should farm them on Thursdays because that's when the weekly bosses reset, which means you'll have a lot of players trying to kill them as soon as they spawn, which will make them a lot more easier to kill them and farm for the shard of great power. Keep in mind though, the shard will drop from the boss's body and you'll have to pick it up yourself. You won't automatically acquire it just by killing the boss. Next up is the Omnius Interdimensional Shard. These are very easy to acquire because they drop from invasion bosses. If you've done a few invasions by now, you would have noticed that invasions have multiple stages. The Omnius Interdimensional Shard only drops from the last stage of the invasion, when the bosses start spawning. Some invasions have 2 bosses, while other invasions have 4 or even 6 bosses. But since invasions are so frequent and easy to access, getting a shard from these bosses shouldn't be too much of an issue. Chances are you already have one anyway. As you can see from this clip, this growth invasion has 4 bosses that you can kill, so that means every one of each 4 has a chance to drop you the Omnius Interdimensional Shard. Now, the last piece that you need to complete your first stage upgrade of your ancient weapon is the red Energy Fragment. The first method we're going to look at is doing prana deliveries. Now, we'll try to cover this method as quickly as possible because prana deliveries are so complicated that I would have to make a whole separate video just to explain it. Hopefully this little video gives you an idea of the basics of how to deliver a prana. Just keep in mind that this is a PvP activity and you can get killed over and over by big PvP guilds trying to deliver it. The second method, however, doesn't involve any PvP at all. You get a chance of getting the red Energy Fragment if you place top 3 at the uncommon fish or top 10 in the rare fish every week in the fishing competition. Next up is the pure magic shard and the Energy Fragment. You'll need 10 Energy Fragments and 50 pure magic shards. There are two methods of acquiring these. First one is by doing PvP in Red Basin, also known as 15s, or by doing Warlord's Arena, or shortly known as 3s. Now the way this works is, when you win a match in 15s, you get 1000 victory tokens. If you lose, however, you only earn 200 victory tokens. In 3s, you win 300, and when you lose, you only earn 100. So clearly, it's more effective to do 15s, particularly because you will need to gain reputation in either Voss or Sen. You will need to acquire at least 5000 reputation in either of the factions before you can buy the pure magic shards or the Energy Fragments. So you'll need 50,000 victory tokens to buy all the pure magic shards that you need, and then another 50,000 to buy all the 10 Energy Fragments that you need. Be aware though that you can only hold 30,000 victory tokens at one given time. So if you decide on getting these this way, make sure that next time when you queue 15s, you stick to either Sen or Voss until you reach Honored Reputation so you can actually purchase these. The other way that you can get Energy Fragments or pure magic shards is again by winning the fishing competitions. Getting top 3 at the uncommon fish or top 10 at the rare fish give you a chance of getting up to 15 shards of magic power and a Energy Fragment. Keep in mind that the Energy Fragments are tradable while the pure magic shards are not. Right, next up is the chaotic energy. This one is very easy to acquire. All you need is 50,000 soul crystals, and you can buy it from a token redemption merchant. You get the soul crystals simply by killing weekly bosses, also known as field bosses. Now, the last piece of your second stage upgrade is the shiny ancient ornament relic. This piece requires you to have level 12 in all 5 manufacturing skills. You'll also need certain souls that you need to craft, but we'll explain that later on. Don't worry if you don't have 5 separate characters with level 12 manufacturing skills, because I'll give you a little workaround at the end of this little clip. Now what you do need are 5 beach green materials. So you need 5 broken ancient bone ornaments to create 1 blue ancient bone ornament, and you need to do that for each ornament in turn. So 5 broken ancient gem ornaments at the alchemy make 1 ancient gem ornament, the blue material. 5 broken ancient iron ornaments make 1 ancient iron ornament, the blue one, at the forging station. And just repeat that until you have all the 5 blue materials. Now, once you've created all your blue materials, it's time to fuse them all together into the shiny ancient ornament relic. Again, you're gonna need level 12 in any of the crafting skills to actually fuse them together. As I mentioned before, you're gonna need some souls to create the blue ornaments. To create the souls, you only need level 11 in either cooking or alchemy to create them. The one thing you have to be mindful though is, you'll need 7 souls for each blue ornament, but they have a 6-hour cooldown between crafting them. So that means as soon as you finish watching this video, make sure you start crafting your souls, because it will take you quite a while to get all of them done. Now I do realize that this part is a lot to take in, so don't worry, because I'll leave detailed explanations in the description below explaining to you what kind of souls you need and what other materials you require in order to craft the ancient ornaments. Now that all that is out of the way, let's have a look on how you actually acquire the ancient broken ornaments. As you might have guessed, one way is to do fishing. Again, placing top 3 at the uncommon fish or top 10 at the rare fish give you a chance at any of the broken ancient ornaments. This one method, however, doesn't guarantee that you will get any of the ancient broken ornaments, and if you do, the kind of material that you get is totally random, making it an effective way but not very reliable. The next method that you can use to gain ancient broken ornaments is by crafting them in your estate. This method is reliable but not very effective. You'll need to find a master crafter that can actually craft them, and they are pretty rare to find. But as you can see here, they have a high chance of crafting any of the ornaments that you require, instead of taking a random chance at a fishing chest. All the crafters, as far as I know, require 30 gathered herbs and 10 mined jewels to have a chance at creating a broken ancient ornament. So start stacking up on the gathered herbs because you will need quite a lot of them to create all your broken ornaments. Now, the last method that you can use to acquire these coveted materials is opening superior material chests with the tokens that you get from the fishing competition. This method is the most unreliable way because there's no guaranteed chance that you'll get anything good, since you only get one item per chest. Now, the good news that all of these materials are tradable, which means that in theory you can simply buy your shiny ancient ornament relic. But as you can see here, nobody actually sells the whole piece because, as you can tell by now, it's a big hassle to even acquire one, and the people that do get one simply use it for themselves. Plus, it's not very profitable to make it and then sell it. You will, however, find people that sell the broken ancient ornaments, and that's because they might have a surplus from their estates or by doing the fishing competition. So, as many of you guys probably figured out by now, the workaround that I mentioned earlier involves you simply trading the broken ancient ornaments to a friend and have them crafted for you. To put it in simpler terms, if you give somebody that you trust 5 broken ancient gem ornaments, 35 sapphires, 7 Spectre souls, and 10 fortification stones, provided they have level 12 alchemy, they can simply craft the ancient gem ornament for you. And that holds true even for the blue ornaments, so if you give somebody all the 5 pieces, they can craft you the shiny ancient ornament. Now, it's time for the last push to get your ancient weapon ready. All you'll need are 4 simple materials. Ancient Hero's Restraint, which drops from the Time Dungeon Adventure chest. Ancient Hero's Generosity, which drops from the Time Dungeon Challenge chest. Ancient Hero's Wrath, which drops from the Time Dungeon Overcome chest. And Ancient Hero's Belief, which drops from, well, we don't really know where that one drops from exactly. If you look at the Time Dungeon rewards, you'll notice that it doesn't say where exactly it drops from, but it does drop from one of them. And since the game doesn't tell us exactly how you acquire it, I can't give you a definitive answer. In my limited personal experience though, I've noticed that the Ancient Hero's Belief can possibly drop from any of the Time Dungeons. The good news about it is though that you can buy any of the Ancient Hero tokens except the Wrath one from any players, so they're tradable. And they do drop often enough. So if you've gotten to the 3rd stage of your ancient weapon and haven't found one yet, simply just buy it from the marketplace. So that's everything that you need to know about getting your ancient weapon ready. As you've probably figured out by now, one of the easiest way to get your ancient weapon is by doing lots and lots of fishing. I'll leave a link in the description and you can watch it to learn how to fish like a sniper. Good luck getting your ancient weapon, and I hope to see you in the next video. If you've enjoyed this little guide, make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you have any questions about getting your ancient weapon, simply post them in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.